Hello friends, welcome to my channel Tech Hub. So in today's session we will see Java Archive. We will learn what is Java Archive, why we need Java Archive and how we can create Java archives. So let's get started. So if we define Java archives, then we can say that Java archive is a collection of packages. In the previous video we have already seen what is packages. Packages is nothing but a collection of .class file called package that has some specific use and that is categorized according to their functionality. So all these topics we learnt in the previous video. So Java archive is nothing but a collection of packages, and it is not Java archive cannot contain only the packages. It can contain text files, image file, video file, PDF file or any other types of file. Java archive can also contain other files also. It's not limited to these four types of file. It can contain any types of file. It can contain audio files, it can contain Excel file, Word file, ODT file, PPT file, any types of file it can contain, any types of file. And Java archive has a .jar type extension, and Java archive can be executable or non-executable also. Means executable means what? Same before we have seen so many examples in Java. We have created Java class and Java program we have created. We have compiled that Java program, and after compiling we are executing that program. In the same way we can execute jar also. Java archive is nothing but a jar. We can say that jar is a short form of Java archive. So we can execute the jar. In the same way how we were executing .class file, in the same way we can execute .jar file also. So Java archive is a jar that contain a packages, or it can contain text file, image, video, PDF or any other types of file, and it has a .jar extension, and that can be executable or non-executable. Executable means what? Executable means jar file can have a starting point of application, means that can have a main method, that can have a main class, because in main class we have a main method only. Anywhere it's not compulsory that you will give the main class name. You will give the class name as a main class only. Whatever you want you can give the class name, but in any of the class, if any main method is there, any starting point is there, so you can specify that main method class into manifest file, and you can make a .jar file to an executable archive. And if your .jar file does not have any starting point or does not have any main method in any of the files, then you can say that jar is non-executable jar, and that is considered as a Java library. And the class that is executable, and the jar that is executable called standalone application, and the jar that is non-executable called Java library. So we can say that Java archive is an application of Java that you can execute and that you can run on any of the platform, that is completely independent. So you can say like that also, jar is a collection of packages, and jar has a .jar extension, and jar is a jar can be a standalone application, or a jar can be a Java library also. It's up to the developer, how developer want to use that jar. Developer want to use that jar as a library, then developer can do that one. If developer want to make that jar as an application, then developer can do that also. So that is called Java archive. That is nothing but jar only. Okay, so in this one, from these many points, some question may came in the mind, in some people's mind. What is library? What is library? Suppose, because we are talking about a Java archive is a library if it is a non-executable, then what is library? If we define the library, then library is nothing but a pre-compiled code, that can be reused many times into different application. Or we can say that is a loose coupling code that can be used into many application according to the requirement. What is loose coupling code? Loose coupling code is nothing but the code that is not depending on any of the resource, or it's not depending on any other code. That is a loose coupling code, and we should develop application in this way only, that is following loose coupling code concept always. So library is nothing but a loose coupling code, or it's a pre-compiled code that can be used across the many applications. So this is the definition of library. In Java, if you say that is you can say the definition like that, it is a collection of packages, and collection of packages is nothing but dot class files only, and dot class files is nothing but an pre-compiled code only that can be reused across the applications. So this is our library. And what is standalone application? Standalone application is nothing but a desktop application. Suppose we have seen so many applications in Windows or Linux operating system. Suppose in the Linux operating system you see VLC, that is a open source software. VLC is a video player. So that is a standalone application, because in each machine you can install that one and you can run that one, you can use that one. Or if you see the example of Windows operating system, so you have already seen Paint is there, that is a standalone application. Microsoft Word is there, Excel is there, so that all are the standalone application. In one system you will install that one and you can use that one, so that is called a standalone application. So jar can also be a standalone application. Jar can be a library if it is a non-executable. Jar can be a standalone application if it is executable, and jar can contain a collection of packages, and it has a .jar extension. If it is required, you can add some text file into jar, you can add images, videos, PDF or any other types of file into the jar. So this is about jar. What is jar, or what is Java archive? Now we have to learn how we can create that one. How we can create. Suppose this, to create a non-executable, this is the syntax to create non-executable jar. Non-executable jar, as we already discussed, that don't have any main method. Non-executable jar don't have any main method, or that don't have any starting point. So that is a library. We can say that like that. This is a library. So this is the syntax that can be used to create a non-executable jar, or that can be used to create a library, or that can be used a non-executable jar file. So first we will create a one jar that is a non-executable, and that will be considered as a library. So suppose we have created two .java files here. Two .java files we have created. One is math.util and another is a main class demo. MathUtil is nothing but, as we have seen in the previous video, same only, that will do the mathematical operations only. So this code is not dependent on any other code, and we can compile this code and we can distribute this code by .jar files, and that can be reused into many applications according to the requirement. If we have to do some mathematical operation, so we can use this code in that application. So what we will do here, we will create this dot class files first, and after that one we will create, after creating that dot class file, we will create jar file, and this we will create in form of packages also, because this has a package statement. Okay, so to do that one, I am opening here one terminal, and inside this terminal first I will compile that one. First I will compile, and as we have seen in this MathUtil, package statement is there. Package statement is there. So I want to create that package also. MathUtil.java, Java. But what if I will give here dot? It will create this package in this directory only, but I don't want to create in this one. I want to create in this directory. I want to create one libraries libs folder. Under this libs folder I want to create MathUtils. So I can specify in this way. Dot is representing here, dot is representing the current directory. Current directory is nothing but Java demo, where we opened this terminal. So that is a current directory. Working directory, you can say working directory, or you can say current directory. So so this is our working directory dot. Inside this working directory I want to create libs one, another directory, that is libs means is nothing but libraries, and inside that one your JVM will create org. Under that org your JVM will create .abc. Under that abc your JVM will create util, and under that util your JVM will put MathUtil.class files, because this package statement is given org.abc.util. So I am just pressing enter, and you can see here libs folder came. Under this libs directory and folder is same. In operating system you can say directory, but in general world you can say folder, that is same only. So I am opening this library libs. Under this libs you can see org is there, under this org abc is there, under this abc util is there, and under this util MathUtil.class file is there. So this is the directory structure of this package, of this package, as we have learned in the last video also. So what I will do now, I want to create a library. I want to create .jar file. I want to create library, means I want to create Java library, or I want to create .jar file or Java archive for this package. So I will open one terminal here, and I will execute the Java archive statement. So Java archive will be created here. So what is the statement to create Java archive? Jar cf. What is the meaning of cf? C stand for indicating we want to create a new jar, this C. F indicating that specify the jar file to be created, So CF, C means create what? F for jar file. Which jar file? util.jar file. Okay, so this statement says create a jar. C stand for create, jar is the command, jar is one command that is taking one parameter that will specify what you should do first. So I want to create a jar. F stand for file. Which file? util.java. From which package? From org.abc.util. utl from this package. We have to give this package. So this is the same statement. If you see jar cf file name, we have given file name as utl.jar, and after that one we are giving package directory. Package directory is nothing but any package directory, abc org/abc/utl. this is the one package. After giving one space you can give another package, org xyz utl. After giving one space you can give another package. After giving one space you can give another package. By separating with the space you can give n number of packages, that is up to you. So currently we have only one package, that is org.abc.utl. org.abc.utl is the package name inside .java file. After compilation that .java file, your JVM will create package directory, that is package directory. So we have to give here package directory, and that's why we have given here package directory. So this is the package directory, and I'm pressing enter, and if you will see this util came here. So I will delete this one first. I will again execute this one. See, util.jar came. So this is the way you can create a non-executable or a Java library or a .jar file that is non-executable in this way. If you want to see the steps what your JVM is doing, I am just deleting this once more. If you want to see what your JVM is doing, which step it is doing first, so you can give V. V stands for verbose, generate verbose output to standard output. See, V option, you can see the verbose will show the steps of adding the resources into jar. It will show the steps here. See, added manifest file is not there, then it is adding your utl, and then after this it is putting .class file in that utl. So only this steps is there, and your jar is created. See, I am deleting once more, and I will show once more. Yes, okay. So in this way you can create jar file. And now see, okay, I am closing this terminal. See, now this package is not required because this package is containing in this one also. If I open this one, you will see this is org abc utl. Under this utl, math utl.class is there. So your package, this package is consolidated into this utl.jar. Your package is added into this one, so we no need this add. We can delete that one, no issue, because this is there already, and this we can export. This we can use in any of the application. It's free from dependency on any resource or any other program. It is free from that one. So you can use this utl.jar in any of application. So what we will use in this in another main class demo.java file we are using. So I will show you that now. Okay, so that we did it, and we have created this Java archive that is non-executable, or that is a Java library. Okay, so let's go to Java home now. So in Java home, if I open main class demo, this is our main class demo. So in main class demo, the package is org.techhub.testdemo. This is our package, and here if you see math util from org.abc.utl we are importing and we are using, and we are doing some mathematical operation, and that mathematical operation we are printing here, like addition of 7 3 is 10, subtraction of 7 3 is 4, multiplication of 21, and division is something 7 divided by 3, whatever it will be, it will come. Okay. So, and after this we are printing main method and here main method started before we are printing. So this will be the output of that one. So what we will do, first we need to compile. So how we can compile? Java C D. I want to compile into this present directory only, which class? Main class demo.java. What if I press enter? Will it create a package here? No, because it is dependent on some resource. Some resource is nothing but some other library. It is depending on some other library, and that library is not in your class path. So what you have to do, either you have to set class path. In the previous video, how we learned how we can set the class paths, we have to set in that way, or you can do to compilation only, you can give the class path here. CP means class path of which libraries. That's it. This is our class path. So please consider this class path while compiling. So it will consider this class path with this one, and if you press enter, the class path, under this class path utl.jar is there. Okay, sorry. So because under this class path I want to compile this main class demo.java into this current directory, and I want to use this class path. So I am specifying all these points here and pressing enter. See, now it is compiled here. If you see, I just clear this console. Okay, see, if you see com.techhub.testdemo.main class demo came. So this was the package statement of main class demo, com.techhub.testdemo. Under this com.techhub.testdemo, main class demo class will be there. So that is happening here. com.techhub.testdemo, under this test demo, main class demo class is there. And now we have to create Java archive for this this package, com.techhub.testdemo, for this package. So okay, we have opened this terminal here, and we have to execute this statement. jar cfm. This time I am giving M here. M stands for manifest file, C stands for create what, F stands for jar file with the manifest file. Suppose if I open this document, M stand for M indicate the manifest file we use. This manifest file include name value pair of what? I will open that manifest file here. So this is our manifest file, mf.text. If you see this mf.text manifest file, then we are specifying two values. Key pair, key is a main class, one key is main class. In that one we are giving main class. What is our main class? com.techhub.testdemo.main class demo. This is our main class. So we are specifying here. If there in your archive there may be n number of files, n number of .class files, but in which .class file your main method is present, you have to specify that one. So currently we have only one class, and in that class only the main method is present, so we are specifying that name only. And class path is what? If your program is dependent on some other resource or on some other library, so that library path we have to specify. So where is our library path? Currently under libs, under this present directory, under libs, utl.jar should be there. It will consider that one. So that we are adding two key value pairs here. One is the class main class, and another is a class path, and that is our manifest file. So so we are creating here manifest file cfm, and we have to specify our manifest file here. Jar file. First we have to specify the jar file. I give my main.jar, and after that one we have to specify manifest file text. After that one, if we want to specify some file name, like if I open this document, we have written here Java archive can also contain other files like text, image, video, PDF, or any other type of files it can contain. So if we want to any types of file or directory, if we want to add any files or directory, then we can specify that here. So I want to specify this only, that's it, libraries, that's it. Whatever will be there in this directory, all will be added. Whatever is there in this libs directory, all will be added into that jar file. That's why I am writing here. And after that one, we have to give the package directory com.techhub.testdemo, that's it, and press enter. See, now this my main.jar is created, and now we no need this package also, because whatever the statement is there, that is present into this one. So now this and this one, this two is considered as our application. If we want to delete this one, that also we can do, but we should not do that one. This is our source code. Source code should not be created in any of the cases, because what is the use of source code? Suppose this is current version we have launched for this application. Later on we want to launch the new version, we want to update this one, then how we will do? If you deleted the source code, you have to write the code from starting. No, you should not do that one. That's why this is our source code, we are not going to delete that one. Okay, that we will keep safe. So this is our application now, my main.jar, and this is the library of that one. So this is our application, these two files is our application. And now we have to run this one. How we can run that one? Java jar my main.jar. So what happened? Okay, I think some by mistake one comma came. Okay, I will close the terminal and open again. Yeah, so java jar my main.jar. Yes, now you see it's compiling. No, not compiling, it's executing. Actually we are executing this file that is dependent on this one and this completely. So this my main is the example of executable jar file, or this is the example of standalone application, and this libs, under this lib util.jar is the example of Java library, or this is the example of non-executable jar file. So so this is the way that we can create, and in this way we can execute that one. And number of time we can execute. And here we have given, yeah, this is to create the executable jar, this is to create the non-executable jar, and this is verbose that we have already seen. What is the use of this verbose? This is a point about the C. What is the meaning of C? Indicate we want to create a new jar. G, we want to generate the verbose output. F, specify the jar file name, or you can specify the jar file to be created, and M indicate the manifest file. So in this way we can create Java archive, we can create executable jar, or we can create non-executable jar. And here my main.jar is the example of executable jar, and inside this libs util.jar is the example of non-executable jar, and non-executable jar is nothing but Java library, and executable jar is nothing but Java application. Okay, so this is about the Java archive. This is the building process. How we can build your application. But building application in this way is not recommended. This is to our information only. We should know the the actual way or traditional way how exactly we can do that one, but we should not use this one to build our application. And no developer is using this mechanism to develop any application. Developers are using some building tool, they are taking the help of some building tools, and we have to take the help of building tool only. What is building tool? To make any development faster into structured way, developer have to use Java build tools. Java build tools, so many are there, so many, these many: Maven, Hudson, Gradle, and Gradle is deprecated, it's obsoleted, no one is using that one. Recommended is Maven only, because more than 80% now, more than 80%, 90% code Java, that is Java application, is using Maven only, because Maven is very much easy to use, and this has a many functionality that we cannot do from this terminal or from this command line also. What is the one more thing here? Suppose currently this application is dependent on this libs directory, because in this libs directory library is there, one library is there, and your application is dependent on this one. We have to export this to, and we have to consider this to this file and this library, this directory, as an application. But what if we can combine this library, this util.jar inside this my main.jar? That is also possible, and in that case we have to use, we can give this my main.jar file only, and that jar file is work as a standalone, and you no need to give any other files, only one file is enough. That you can do in that way also. In that case you have to take the help of Maven only. Maven can do that functionality. So we will learn this Maven after this core Java, because after this core Java we can develop any application. Before to core Java we cannot develop any application. So once we will be able to develop application, we will use Maven, and we will learn Maven also. So these are the building tools. And one more thing, these are building tools, and suppose we are seeing here this code, and we are writing this code in Notepad only. This is not Notepad, this is some part Sampadak, that is a default editor, that is coming with your Linux operating system. In Windows operating system, Notepad is there, that is default default text editor. These are the text editors only. That is not what you can do in the text editor. You can write any text file and you can use that one, but writing code in text editor also not recommended. That is for learner, means first the person who has started Java programming or any other programming, they must use Notepad first, because from Notepad if they switch to any IDE, then that will be easy to write the code. So that's why the developer is recommended to use IDE. We have to use IDE to develop any applications. So in the next video we will learn about IDE. What is IDE? Because suppose here we have imported this math.util class, and we are creating here in the statement 19 we are creating math.util object. How we will know in the math.util object only one constructor is there, that is default? That is the chances there may be n number of constructor, and how we will know whether addition method is there and that method is taking two parameters, two integer type values? How we will know that one? So that all these points your IDE will suggest you, So for that purpose we will use IDE. And another way, we want to create this structured environment. structured environment. Currently what is this one, we are taking in this directory we are putting directly files, directly .java file, so many files will be there. How will you distribute them? You have to give some directory structure. For that purpose IDE is required. IDE will handle all these things. So many IDEs there for Java. So we will learn about the IDE and we will see how we can install them and how we can use them in the next video. So I hope you like the video. Please subscribe my channel, and if you have any doubt about Java archive, any concern, or you want to ask anything, then you can ask me in comment section and we will take out that also. So till that, bye bye and thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you.